Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be your community update for everything going on in the Raid community and recorded on May 2nd, 2020. I haven't done one of these for a while, so just want to kind of put a bow on everything going on in Raid right now and kind of get you up to date. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first topic and probably the biggest point of contention or thing being talked about right now is the fact that Plarium is going to be in the next patch adding player levels that go up to 100. So you can see up here in the top left, my account is level 60. My account will be able to level up to level 100. And typically in Raid, on your way up the ranks of account progression, your max energy goes up as you level up your account. It's kind of an incentive to level up your account because the more you do, the higher your max energy goes, the more efficient your energy refills are, and the more you can play the game, the higher your level goes and the more active you are, which makes sense. They are not going to be increasing the max energy, as we all kind of know. Anybody who's following Raid knows that they've announced rewards at every tier of 5 levels at 65, 70, and so on, all the way up to 100, but no energy increases whatsoever. And there's all sorts of petitions going around in Discord servers and Reddit, and I want you guys to know that when they told us, we typically hear about changes a little bit before the community does. They try to kind of give us a heads up so we can, start to prepare videos and let people know what's going on as soon as possible. Pretty universally, all of us content providers were like throwing up red flags to them. Like, guys, what are you thinking? You can't raise the account level of a person's Raid account and not raise the max energy as they level up. This is going to be a nightmare. We all told them that. They did not listen, and they went forward unchanged. So so that being said, I agree with the player base. I think it's a horrible move, and they should have definitely done some sort of mechanic to benefit energy as you level up your account. I think that's long overdue. There's been a large percentage of the player base just kind of sitting at level 60 for like a year now in some cases. So they really, this is overdue to make some sort of change in terms of account progression, and they're definitely doing it the wrong way in my opinion, in not evolving energy efficiency as we kind of go along and kind of move in to Raid being kind of not such a new game where people are going to be level 60 more often and get to level 100 more often. We need some sort of incentive to progress your account in terms of spending efficiently. So I do agree with the community. I think it was a bad move, but I do want to keep it in perspective because it is better than doing nothing. I think a lot of people wouldn't even be saying anything if Plarium would have just not even discussed it. Just been like, nope, level 60 is the max, and that's that. So do keep in perspective that it is better than nothing. At least they are going to be letting people continue to level up their accounts. They're just doing it in the wrong way. So right idea, wrong implementation, which is kind of a theme for a lot of things that they tend to do in terms of kind of my opinion on some of these implementations and kind of how they go about it. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. And that is going to be the damage calculator that one of my most recent videos was covering. So I'm not going to rehash on it too much. I just want to make sure if you haven't seen that video, go check out my video about the damage calculator made by ASUS. It's an absolutely amazing tool. This is what it looks like, and I will try to remember to put a link to this down in the video description. But basically, you're going to click File and Make Copy, and then that's going to pull up a version that you can then play with on your side of things, and you can I walk through it in my video, but basically you put in a champion's name like this, it's gonna load up all of their multipliers and stuff. You can see down here the 3.5 on the A1, the 4.6 on the A2, etc., etc. You can put in your stats, calculate some damage to help make some gear decisions, and that is a super important tool that I want to make sure you know about, and a huge thanks to ASUS for working so hard on this. I also want to talk about the Battle Pass because this is something that gets brought up all the time when I'm streaming and in comment sections and all that. It's one of the most common questions in Raid right now. As far as we know as content providers, we're not going to get a battle pass, unfortunately, until probably June sometime, which again we all disagree with. Obviously, we're raid players too. We want a battle pass to be able to check out and dive into and start completing quests on. The battle pass, in my opinion, the first one was pretty decent. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. There's some things I would have done differently. I think it was a little bit too expensive, but in general, based off of you know, a first one, it was pretty well done, and I think it was overall a good thing for the game. I think it was received mostly negatively because it was released during literally the darkest days that Raid has ever experienced. It was during the whole Draco Gate, community up in arms, super drama constantly, and that's kind of when the battle pass rolled out. So I think it was received a little bit more negatively than it would have been if it were released like today. So hopefully the next one builds on that and is even better. We've definitely done our best to give them input on how to make it better, but yes, we all wish there was a battle pass coming out, you know, right now or next week. But unfortunately, the truth is it's probably going to be sometime in June that we see the next battle pass. And then diving into the current summoning event, which is going to be the Banner Lords. You can see here the buffed chance for Septimus, Richtof, Raglan, Baron, Horden, and Rowan. So really not a whole lot to cover here. Most of you probably didn't pull shards for this. There's really no like super god tier meta champion in there. The crown jewel is probably Raglan. Out of the whole bunch, Raglan can be very good in certain scenarios, and Septimus can be very good in certain speed farming scenarios. But getting a Raglan is during you know, shards are not boosted. Remember, during these the shards are not boosted, so getting the Raglan, I mean, you're gonna have to pull so many void shards to feel good about your chances of getting Raglan. So probably not worth it, and not a whole lot to cover. They do have some offers coming through in the shop today based around shards, and that is why they're trying to kind of give an opportunity to pull shards. If you're looking for like a Raglan or a Septimus, this is going to be your chance to kind of buy some ancients and go for those, or buy some voids and go for Raglan. But again, probably not going to be enough to entice 99% of you to go after this. So not a whole lot to cover on the Banner Lords event, unfortunately. There is also currently a Fire Knight tournament going on in the game, and so I'll pull this up here and take a look at it. Anytime we can get an epic or legendary book as a reward on the guaranteed side, I'll take it. That's okay. The Fire Knight is a pretty good dungeon to grind, so not a bad idea to go ahead and grind it and try to get your epic book, maybe get some shield sets and some savage and some crit damage. A pretty good idea to go ahead and try to get that book and then assess your group. If it's realistic to win it, I would maybe go for it, but I wouldn't get myself into a whale war over trying to finish in your group to maybe get like one usable piece of Relentless Gear. So kind of get the book and then play it by ear from there. But that's not the only tournament going on. We've also got a champion training tournament, which this one's going to be tough to win because there's a lot of people that go really hard in the paint in terms of leveling champions. You can see here in my group, I've got somebody almost 30,000 when the max rewards are at 15,000. So I'm not even going to bother competing in my group. There's no point. I don't want to get up to 40 or 50,000 points in the champion training. It's not worth spending hundreds of dollars of energy to try to compete with this person, so I'm not even going to bother. Is it worth getting the 15,000 to get the book and the void shard and a little bit of gems? I mean, it's never a bad idea to level up champions. That's kind of my general take on these typically. I do prefer the champion training events as opposed to the tournaments. The rewards seem a little bit more consistent, and we can get a little bit more bang for our buck in terms of value. So if you're gonna go crazy hard, you might want to wait until it coincides with a champion training event, which we don't currently have. We just have the tournament, and I guess that'll segue me into the events going on. We've got Dungeon Divers, a few days left on that over the weekend and moving into next week. Again, if you're grinding the Fire Knight to participate in the tournament and get the book, it's always a good idea to do these and scoop up Void Shards and Legendary books whenever you can get your hands on them. And then also the Summoning Rush. This coincided with the Banner Lords event, but again, I've just gotten these points from Mystery Shards, and most of you, it's probably a good idea to not go super hard on the Banner Lords event and also the Summoning Rush event going on right now here. And one thing I wanted to touch on is in the login rewards this week, there is going to be a large percentage of the community that is getting Lordly Legionnaire. You can see here I'm about 6 days away from getting Legionnaire, so that'll come next week. And for everybody that had already played, you know, into the end game, and when these new daily login rewards came out, all of those people are going to be finishing and getting Lordly Legionnaire on the same day. And so I just want to do a quick kind of first impression of this champion. Amazing sword, like ridiculous. I love that. It looks like a weapon a legendary would have. But basically, in my opinion, they released Lordly Legionnaire to be kind of an introduction to kind of the later stages of the Fire Knight, because you can see here we've got attack one enemy 2 times, multi-hit A1s are really good at bursting down the Fire Knight shield, places an extra hit if under heal reduction, places 2 extra hits if under 100% heal reduction. So another really popular champion that a lot of people use is Coldheart, in terms of being a void rare that can be very good in the Fire Knight, and this will obviously pair well with all those people that are using Coldheart and kind of help to progress in the Fire Knight. But worth noting that stage 20 of the Fire Knight is Force and Lordly Legionary is Magic, so that's going to be a big kind of knock on his value in terms of the Fire Knight. Might not be super great on stage 20, but we've got abilities here that kind of decrease speed, decrease turn meter, multi-hit A1, and reflect damage is also pretty useful in the Fire Knight and giving your team some sustain as well. So he will be pretty good for a lot of players and progressing up to those stage, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19 area, but he might not be so good on stage 20, so just kind of keep that in mind when you're kind of weighing your options in terms of maxing this guy out to help you progress in the Fire Knight. And then lastly, let's go ahead and cover the offers that are currently in the shop, and we'll run them through the calculator in case you don't want to have to do that. Remember, you can go ahead and do the same thing. You can copy my spreadsheet here and edit/use my calculator however you want. That is totally cool. And then let's plug these in, and I'll kind of show you what's up with these. So we've got the silver is 3.5. I anticipate this one won't be super good. Gems are going to be 2150. And then the ancient shards are 41. This is a 1.42. So unless you're a super whale, probably an offer you're going to want to stay away from. The special offer pack, this one's going to be way better. I can already tell the value, and I got to admit I did cheat a little bit. I plugged this in on stream a little bit ago when I was streaming today, so I do remember this one being pretty good in terms of value. Gems, 1300, 37 brews, and we're going to go 5 legendary books, and 15 void shards. I think that is right. 37 brews, 1300 gems. It seems too high. 5 legendary books. Is it not? It's actually a 2.57. That's pretty good. It seems like I'm missing something. It seems like it was different on stream. I must have messed something up on stream or something. But yeah, 15 void shards. That's right. 5 legendary books. That's right. Oh, 37. Yep, that's it. Sorry, guys. I caught myself. There we go. Okay, yeah, it's a 2.06. That seems right. Sorry about messing that up. But yeah, anytime we get an offer over 2, it's pretty good. So I can't complain. Gosh, you know, it's expensive. $70 is a lot, and we're really at the beginning of the month. So there's a good chance we'll get better offers kind of coming through on the back end during some sort of event this month. So I guess I would tend to kind of lean towards not recommending, but if you're itching to spend money, anytime we can get over a 2.0, this one's not that bad. The mini mix pack, not a whole lot to cover. The 6-star artifact set today is Divine Speed for a full set of 6-star epic. It's good gear, but it's not worth a $35 gamble in my opinion, so I would go ahead and let that one go. So let me put away the offer sheet, and yeah, that kind of does it, just to kind of, you know, wrap up everything kind of going on in Raid right now. And I do want to note that we can expect patch 1.15 to actually hit the live server sometime in the next week or two. I did a video covering all the changes coming through at 1.15 where I go over the actual patch release document and kind of read through it and give a live reaction. It's the patch that includes the Infinity Clan Boss where you can continue to hit it after your team has technically killed it and all of that kind of stuff going on. So if you want to watch that video, check it out. It's one of my more recent videos, and make sure you check out the video about the damage calculator if you have not checked that out. So yeah, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. We'll see ya. Peace.